Welcome everyone to another exciting episode of Beer Guys Going Wine. I'm Dave.
And I'm John.
And tonight we're going to talk about a wine that we have not tried or experienced yet, and actually neither one of us know too much about it, and that would be the
Red Zinfandel. Yeah, we haven't done that. We've gone through a couple different wines, a couple different grapes, the varieties. We went through France, we went through Italy, we've done Napa Valley, Cabernets, and now we're moving over and trying some Red Zinfandel.
Now, when we think of Zinfandel, John and I not knowing too much about Zinfandel, I guess we
About
wines, but we actually thought it was more of a white wine.
Well, yeah,
I didn't know
like a blush.
Zinfandel was a red.
Like a blush.
I had no idea.
Right.
So what we decided to do was, what I decided to do is I went to get a bottle of wine that really got to the origin of the Zinfandel. And the wine that I'm going to go with tonight, which is interesting, this is the Poggio.
Why is it interesting?
Anima. Why is it?
Yeah, why?
This is interesting because this wine is more of it's a joint venture of a wine, I guess a wine specialist. His name is Ricardo Campianto. No, not Montalban. No, that was
Fantasy Island.
Yeah. The guy with the plane. That guy.
Ricardo Montalban.
That's a different story. But this is Ricardo
Tattoo.
Campianto, who is this guy was a rising star in Tuscany, and what he did is he actually he joined with they did a joint venture with a supplier. Interestingly enough.
He's boring.
No, seriously, no. They did a joint venture with the supplier. The guy's named Ronnie Sanders at Vine Street Imports.
Okay.
And what they're doing, it's this
particular wine.
That's this particular wine.
Where's this wine from?
Tuscany.
Tuscany.
All right.
Oh, you said that.
Yes, it's Tuscany wine.
Okay.
But the wine, the grape itself,
Yes.
is not a Zinfandel.
What is it?
It's the cousin of a Zinfandel.
Well, then what are we doing?
Hang on, wait a minute, stay with me here.
You're supposed to have
Hang on, wait a
Zinfandel.
minute. The wine, the grape itself is Primitivo.
Primitivo, which
is the actually.
No.
Interesting enough, the grape itself came from Croatia.
Yes.
Okay, Primitivo came over to southern Italy, and that is actually the I guess the original.
Yeah. Well,
the DNA.
Yes.
Of the Primitivo
yes.
is the.
There's only a neat fact I heard today.
What's that?
Was that it's only made in 3 different areas.
In what areas would that be?
Well, you're the one who told me the neat fact, so why don't you tell them?
So it would be Croatia, southern Italy, and California.
Yeah,
actually,
that's crazy.
10% of all the wines in California are the Zinfandel.
Zinfandel.
Right.
And it mainly comes out of the Sonoma area, but we'll get into that on another show.
So what these guys are doing in this joint venture, it's coming out and they're doing a one variety, one vineyard. So these guys are like, they're suppliers of it.
Wow.
They're suppliers. So what they do is go down to Tuscany, and it's not the extra wines or the extra grapes. It's actually,
so their vineyard just has one variety of grape in it. Right? You said one vineyard, one variety.
No, but they go to the different regions of Tuscany.
Okay. All right.
And these guys are just suppliers.
So really, Tuscany, I didn't know Tuscany made the Red Zinfandel.
And actually, interestingly
it's
enough.
It's called Primitivo.
Primitivo?
Yeah.
And what does that mean?
It means Zinfandel.
No. It actually was a monk.
It's the same thing.
A monk named it Primitivo because it was a early blooming of the grapes.
Yes.
Primitivo.
Yeah, it's an interesting grape. It's a darker grape.
So interestingly enough, in 1999, all right, the Italians were able to call it Zinfandel at that point. They started calling it Primitivo.
Zinfandel in 1999. Yeah. It was a late one. And that actually came from America. America started calling it Zinfandel. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's talk about the year. Did you talk about what year it was?
Yes, I did not talk about the year because the year is kind of interesting, and I'm a little bit nervous about this because this is a 2000. This is 2018.
Okay,
this is 2018.
So a Red Zinfandels, what we've learned is they're big. We have another guest here. they're big wines, just like Cabernet Sauvignon. So they need
right.
time. They need time because a lot of tannins. There's a lot going on in these wines. So
interestingly enough, the Primitivo it's best enjoyed 3 to 5 years, within 3 to 5 years.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Different than the California.
Yeah, the California really 5 to 10 years is the sweet spot, but it can go 15.
It's actually 15. 5 to 15.
It can go 15, right?
But I thought that was interesting, and I don't know why that is. You know, why would it be in Italy? It's 3 to 5 years.
I don't know.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I was a little bit nervous.
We're gonna find out.
This was in 2018. I thought, oh crap.
Right.
We're supposed to have it in 5 years.
So,
but the Italians say 3 to 5.
So one thing, I broke out the wine opener for this, and it didn't need a wine opener. Why didn't this need a wine opener?
I don't know if it's saving cost. You know,
so there seems to be a lot more twist offs. So I'm interested. How much did something like this cost?
Why don't we taste it first? Then I'll let you know.
So this is probably like a $9 wine.
Oh no, I would never buy something that cheap. All right, let's taste it.
I think he's a wine snob now. All right, so let's take a look at it. It almost has like a brown tinge to it. Did you notice that?
Yes. Well, that's
well, you're colorblind. I forgot.
But that's very characteristics of the wines that are
characteristics.
Characteristic of the grapes that are in southern Italy.
Plural.
Yep. Southern Italy. Yep.
It is? All right. Well, that's interesting. But I noticed that right away. It has a brown tinge to it.
And a ruby on the end.
Yeah, ruby. Whatever ruby is, I forget what that color is. But it definitely has a brownish tinge. Did you smell it?
I do smell it. What's that?
I thought you were colorblind.
Oh, it's some colors.
He is. You know, another thing that he has an advantage of.
Very
he smells much better.
Very oaky.
He has a better smell than me, a bigger nose, so he smells everything much better than I do. It's just we've talked about this before.
This? All right. Oaky.
It's not a bad smell. This is it's a fruity.
Oh, this is a good wine. This is going to be a good wine.
This is not a bad smell. Usually, a lot of times the European wines,
a little ashy,
Italy wines, they don't always smell the best, but they taste great. This one does. This one has a nice smell. Let's do it. Let's do a taste. So, he likes to go 13 minutes without talking, but whew.
Heavy tannins.
So, no. I get a little back in the mouth.
Astringent?
No astringency, right? No astringency. Where when people say, "Oh, it's dry," it's what they mean is astringency. Which is the front of the mouth tannin. This, I'm getting a little back of the mouth.
So you're not getting spice? You're not getting spice?
I get a little bit of
spice.
spice. I get a little bit of spice here, but what I'm saying, I'm not usually a big fan. This is, it's a pleasant spice. And easy.
14% alcohol.
I'm getting a little sweetness though in this. A touch of sweetness.
You're right.
Right? So, which is
not
uncharacteristic for red wines, but
not bad.
There is definitely a sweetness in this, and I'm not a big fan of sweet.
So you like it?
I do.
Whoa!
We talked about the color.
Yep.
Pretty see-through. This isn't a thick wine.
It's a light wine.
This is like a light juice wine. Something where you say red Zinfandel. This does not remind me of a red Zinfandel.
I never had red Zinfandel.
Yeah.
So I can't.
I have. This doesn't.
This is my first glass of a red Zinfandel.
And this says, did you announce the name of this?
Oh, this is something that's interesting with this.
Can you please announce the name?
Yes. So
because I can't read it.
Poggio Anima. All right.
Poggi.
Can we say it like that way?
Yeah, Poggio.
All right.
Poggio.
So this little thing here, what do we call this? This was a oh boy, this is a hang on one second.
Oh,
here. Just wait for a second. This is a it's kind of
He's
interesting.
got to look at his notes there.
Hang on. All right, so on the wine itself, there's a pagan label on this.
Oh, really?
There's a pagan label on this.
Wow.
All right. So these guys, when they came together and they were doing this wine, they take the white wine as being good, and the red wine as being bad.
Oh,
Right.
that's not
So
good.
check this out. So
I'm
what they
the
do-
opposite,
So the
by
wine,
the way.
they named it Lilith.
Yeah.
And you know who Lilith was?
From the Frasier?
No,
On that
no, no.
show?
Lilith was
Lilith.
the first wife of Adam and Eve, the ex-wife of Adam.
What are you talking
Yes,
about?
with Adam and Eve, right?
Adam and Eve?
Yep. And because they broke up because she would not be subservient to Adam, so she left, and she was casted out.
Smart.
So then he hooked up with Eve?
I don't know where Eve got involved, but they said it was the first wife.
I don't know
think they
about
drank
this.
too much
Yeah.
Zinfandel.
I don't know.
No.
I think
But this
he's got a
wine-
lot of-
But this wine, the red
too many
wine from
incels
the
for that.
red wine from these guys, there's a
There's that
pagan.
little-
There's a pagan on there.
It's a pagan
Right.
angel?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Huh? A little
That's
fun.
interesting.
It was something
But-
a little fun that
so,
they did
So
to
this...
make it interesting.
Yeah, that makes it a little...
You don't seem too interested.
I mean, I think it's cool. I like the backstories of the wines. You know, that's kind of neat. It's something neat. And they have like a little dark angel, like with a bird's head. So that's a pagan.
That's
yeah,
the
it's a
pagan.
pagan angel. Yeah, that's interesting.
But and if you go to if these guys supply or sell another wine, it may be from the Tuscany region, and they have a different pagan on them.
You know, I'm a big fan of Italian wines. I mean, who isn't? They're very good wines, and they're kind of like this. You know, thinner, fruitier,
Right.
And this follows that same path.
And what's
I mean, this
interesting
really
in the
does.
last couple months since John and I have been doing this here, John has been starting to become a little bit of a wine snob.
And you
When we order wines, you know, I've ordered some of those wines where like 10 or 12 come in a case, and he actually refuses to drink those wines because they're so cheap.
No, that's not true. I give them to my wife and
Yes.
let her drink them. But
So what would you think this wine would cost?
so I'm going to say a thinner wine. I'm going to say 15. I'm going to
15.
say in the 15.
About $10.
All right.
$10 wine,
Yeah.
cheapo. This
So
was-
I
this was-
wasn't too
It
far
wasn't on
off.
sale.
I wasn't too
$10.
far off.
$10.
You know why?
And you almost liked it.
No, I like it. I like it. So the reason I went with 15, first off, I didn't
That's because I
think
did the
you'd
build
buy
up.
it.
Because I gave you the build up.
I figured if it was a screw-on cap, you know, it's not going to be a $30 wine.
I should have opened it.
Right. But no, it's a pleasant wine, but it's very light. It's very easy drinking. This is a great wine to open on the and put on the table as a table wine. Just
I have to say, I don't think it's very smooth.
I do.
I do.
I think it's very
Natalie,
easy.
what do you think of this wine?
I'm still looking up Lilith because you're just blowing our minds over here.
Really?
And it's folklore.
Well,
Type
No,
in-
it's all
type-
in here. It's all
It's
in
in-
here,
right?
but it's like not real. It's folklore. I
Right.
think. But yeah.
So this whole
Anyway,
pagan
but the wine
Lilith
is
that he talked
interesting.
about, Adam, you know, he's blaspheming Adam or whatever you want to call it.
It's in there.
But it's
Jewish folklore.
It's folklore.
It's
Jewish
It's
folklore.
Yes,
Right, it's folklore.
yes,
Right.
yes.
It's kind of
I'm like,
interesting.
we-
Yeah, no,
Well,
it's interesting. I like it. I
Right.
like it. I think it's a nice, easy wine. Feel comfortable going to someone's house, bringing this. Everybody, no, you don't like it.
No, I wouldn't feel comfortable bringing it to somebody's house.
Well, no, because it's a screw top. You know,
Well, that
you
is,
brought it to my
it's not that
house.
good.
But
But
sometimes it's perceived out there that a screw top isn't necessarily as good. This wine,
I
very
would-
drinkable.
if
This
I
is a
was
very
go-
drinkable wine.
If I
But
was
like
go-
I said, very, very thin. There's not a lot to it.
It is very
Um,
thin.
it's very thin. If I
Very
was going,
thin.
if I was going to a pizzeria
like
or
you're-
something like that, I would take it with me. But I don't know.
Right.
I don't think I would take it as a gift.
I
to
mean,
somebody.
it's a table wine, is what it is.
Right.
And it's
agree.
almost fruit juicy, like with the sweetness, and that's the part that gets me.
Right.
I like a wine where I'm not getting sweetness. If I have 1 or 2 glasses of this,
I'm
it
not
might
getting
be-
a lot of body with this.
No, just the sweetness. I'm like 1 glass actually with this, and I'm enough. Like that's enough.
I
But
agree.
is it easy drinking? Yes, and
Right.
everybody could drink this and like it.
Right. And it could be with this. You have 1 glass, then you have a second glass, and
Yeah.
also the third glass.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
It's not a bad wine.
No.
You know, so if you're getting it looking for a $10 bottle of wine that you know, both, I think, you know, it crosses, both male and female are going to like it.
And it's got a pagan saint on there. Or, I mean,
So let's,
would you call that a pagan saint? It wouldn't be a pagan saint.
No, they don't have saints.
There would be saints.
It's a pagan symbol.
A pagan symbol, right.
Okay.
Okay.
Or a pagan, I don't know, angel.
Folklore.
Yeah, whatever. All right, so what we do here, all right, and I noticed wine enthusiasts tried to take this from us. I'm just kidding. But what we try to do here is match this up. Since we were beer drinkers before we started this, what we like to do is say, if we were drinking a beer, how would this match up? What beer would this match up to? If you're just sitting there drinking a beer, how can you link this up to this? And I have.
What do you got? What are you thinking?
I mean,
I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
I'm going to say kind of like a light beer to me. To me, you could go. I have Miller Lite here, Coors Light, any of the generic, easier to drink beers. I think that's what this is.
I agree. I don't like any of these really. I agree with the
Yingling's
Miller Lite.
too dark,
too heavy,
too heavy.
flat tires, a little too much body, too much thickness.
too much
Same with the
body.
longboard. Longboard's got more body. It's got to be something a little bit lighter.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would definitely say a light beer.
I would probably
This is
say
light
a
beer.
Miller Lite or maybe a Bud Light or something like that.
Bud
You know,
Light
Bud
even
Light
has a little bit more body.
Right.
This doesn't. This
Right.
has more sweetness. That's why I went with Coors Light Miller
No, I
Lite.
agree. So a little bit lighter drinking wine.
Easier, but
Yep.
you know,
But
something
enjoyable.
you'll enjoy. Yeah, you know, you don't have to go out and get it. But anyway,
Beer guys, go on wine. Salute.
salute.